AI is one of the hottest topics in business right now, but most people still don't know how to actually use it to win. I'm Ethan Kwan, and I've been using AIs in ways that most business owners haven't even thought of. And today, I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm using, how I'm using it, and how they're helping me to scale my business to 8 figures and beyond. And I'm not coming to you alone. I've brought some of my very successful entrepreneur and business owner friends to share their real insights and strategies around AI and what they're doing in their businesses. Welcome to EQ Live. All right, so gentlemen, now we aren't any strangers, and we aren't strangers to each other. But and we can start off with Jonathan and go around. Just kind of, for the purpose of the audience, just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are and your business.
Okay, my name is Jonathan Cunningham from Joanna Millwork here in Nassau, Bahamas. We're in the millwork industry, so that basically encompasses all types of wood products, from cabinetry through everything you can think of that's wood. And we work in the commercial, industrial, resorts, and luxury residential markets.
Awesome.
All right. My name is Keith Roy. I run a software development company called Plato Alpha Design. We build business solutions for companies of all sizes. We also have an HR and payroll system called TriBlock that pretty much streamlines all of the HR and payroll operations, not only in the Bahamas, but also within the Caribbean. And I'm also an avid long-distance runner as well.
So since we're talking running and fitness, I am D'Amico Nesbitt. I own the Fitness Connection, been operating that for almost 16 years now. We're both in Nassau and Freeport, and we help people become the best version of themselves through health, fitness, and supplements.
Awesome. So as you can see, we got people from a variety of industries. We have media, we have construction and millwork, we have tech, and then we have fitness and retail. And so I'll be honest, before this group, so just to kind of put things into context, this is our mastermind. We meet every couple of weeks. It was really Jonathan's idea, and then we kind of kept it going. But we meet every couple of weeks. And these gentlemen have really helped me level up in my business. And so I listen to what they are doing, and I kind of just soak it up. And then I come back and my team is always looking at me. They're like, "Oh yeah, you had a meeting this morning," because you always come back with these bright ideas. And one of the most recent bright ideas was this whole notion of how to incorporate AI and what we're using it for. And I can say from that last meeting, maybe the meeting before the last one, it was really you guys who caused me to jump on what I'm really using, one of the AI tools, Claude, and how I'm using it, and really just diving deep into it. Because before I was just using ChatGPT like a search. And then I realized, wow, I can tell now, even from scripts, like, and from captions, who is using ChatGPT for what, because it literally sounds the same. And when I look at some of my earlier ChatGPT videos, I'm like, I cringe, right? But let's talk a little bit about, feel free, it could be anybody, about the AI tools that you guys are using, and exactly how you're using it. Because I know Claude came from this conversation that we had, but I know you guys are using a bunch of different other stuff too.
Yeah. I guess before you hop in, you talked about the mastermind and just the point that, hey, when you surround yourself with people who forward thinkers and how beneficial it is. Because I got the idea too from Keith just posting the video. So as simple as having people, friends who can share positive stuff, share stuff that helped them. Like that was a big game changer. Just watching a video about ChatGPT versus Claude. And I got deeper and deeper. Then he said the next video, like, wow, this is real. Like, and I was very excited. So just a message to everybody out there, if you can get around people who are forward thinkers and people who help to support you, it's always an excellent thing.
Absolutely. So I guess since I'm the tech guy, I want to go first, right? So I first started using AI. Obviously, everyone started using ChatGPT. So it first started maybe about 2-3 years ago, as I started writing a lot of publications for the Tribune. So what I used to use ChatGPT for was to kind of proofread my work. So I write it out. It would proofread it, kind of help with grammar and spelling and whatever else. And I pretty much started using it for that. And then eventually, as AI capabilities started to get a bit better, both my partner Duran and I was asking ourselves, how can we pretty much integrate AI within TriBlock? So we started, doing some research, and we started looking at services that can incorporate using AI capabilities to kind of enhance what we're doing. So, like for example, we have our recruitment module that allows companies to be able to streamline how they onboard and find new hires. One of the things that we would have brought on is the ability to upload a resume and rank resumes based on the information presented. So pretty much, instead of you going through 100 different applications and trying to figure out who is the top applicant, we have some AI capabilities that can scrub all of the different applicants and build a top 5, top 10, top 15 list of persons who they think would be the best person for that position. And then from there, once AI started to evolve, I started trying to ask myself, well, how can I incorporate AI in my own personal workflows? So like there are certain things I do every day that are repetitive, right? For example, every week we release weekly release notes of new features within TriBlock. That was something that would take me maybe about an hour to then take all of the information that would have been compiled for that week, summarize it myself, write the summary myself, and then send that to a system that then pretty much lets everyone know, hey, these are new updates. Now with Claude, and everybody is very familiar with Claude because I would have, sent over some information. Claude pretty much does it every single Sunday at 8 p.m. All it does is once my laptop or my iPad is turned on, it runs a task. It then looks at all of the different commits, which is essentially changes that would have happened within TriBlock for that week. It then looks at that, compiles a summary, and then it then sends that summary to our Slack channel, which is our internal communications tool, to let our marketing manager know, hey, these are new updates. You can take these, put it into our CRM tool and send an email blast. So again, that is something that I've completely automated without having to then do any sort of work. So that's one of the things. And as you know, right now, I'm still currently trying to figure out ways to fully automate a lot of stuff that I do. But that was just one of the things that really kind of made me think of, hey, AI can really replace a lot of the things that I'm doing manually as well.
Yeah, I like the point you said, those stuff that you do every day, because that's the key thing. If you see that you're every day or on a consistent basis doing the same manual entry, the same morning meeting thing, the same data, how can you just make that into SOP, give it instruction, and let it just do it by itself?
Yep, absolutely.
Buy time back.
And I mean, like even now, I'm a software engineer at heart, right? So I've been writing code for maybe close to about 10 years. And these days, I'm not in the terminal, crunching code and doing anything like that. Like I'm using Claude, and Claude is essentially pretty much generating a lot of the boilerplate code that I would need to build out a lot of the new features in TriBlock. That again has saved me a lot of time. Pretty much just being able to know what it is I want because it's my project. And then just instead of me building it out myself, Claude is generating all the code, generating all of the files, and all I'm doing is kind of auditing and reviewing. And again, it's making me reconsider, do we need to bring on an extra developer? Do we need this? Do we need that? Because I have all the tools and the power in the palm of my hands. So.
Can you take that little bit of code that it scripted out for you and put that directly to the software?
100%.
It's that good.
It is
no
that
editing,
good.
There's no apply it to us kind of thing. And
well, so it's that good in the sense that it can look at your code base and it will know how to structure everything. And obviously, right. And obviously, since I'm very familiar with the code base, if something seems off, I can always just add a prompt to say, hey, do it this way or do it that way. But so far, I mean, it's been a dream, man. It's definitely saving me thousands of dollars of looking to hire 2, 3, or 4 additional developers. And in my opinion, we're in the infancy stages right now with AI. I think it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
And with it getting better, I just hope that more persons really take this serious, because I think similar to the internet, when the internet came around and most companies were thinking, oh, well, I don't need my business to be online, or it's not necessary until it is. I think AI is the same thing. You're going to need to be able to use AI tools in your business, because if not, there's going to be, some tech company or some startup that's going to have all the AI tools that can automate everything you're doing, do it faster, cheaper, better, and you become pretty much obsolete.
It beats you.
That's cool.
It beats you.
What about you? What are you guys doing?
So right now, like I said, those repetitive tasks of our whole management team. We have a management meeting every Monday, and for the last 2 weeks, we've been just training on AI. So Claude, how to use it. Because the same thing, not just for me or myself, I want my leaders to also be able to spend their time on the more important things.
Yeah.
So all those little small things that you're putting in every day, or you're spending X amount of time doing this, you can map those out and not just have Claude do it, but make it into SOP so even the other team members
Yeah.
can do it.
So are you using Claude to write up the SOP then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I did one last week. So I just made a note, a whole process. You upload it into Claude. You say, hey, this is how you do
That's a great idea.
process. Make it into SOP.
Right.
It makes it by itself. Wow. So you have a video that you can send them to show them. Yeah. Then you have the text SOP. So it makes documenting processes easier. And then with Claude, if it's something that's online, that's linked, you can make that into a skill. Okay. So a skill is basically where Claude does it by itself. You can save that, and I can send that to my team, or I just sign up for Claude Team to get everybody on, where I can save that under our team account, and all they gotta do is type in that keyword or that word, how to do it, and Claude will do it. Wow. So they don't have to go learn the whole process. If it's something that Claude can do, they just have to prompt it to do it. So it's so much opportunity with it. It's just that I'm trying to teach everybody how to use what I want to make sure that they was actually going to use it if I pay for it.
Yeah.
So that was the first step. So we did that the last 2 weeks. Everybody got their feet wet using it. Okay. They started running out of usage. So like, okay, now let's.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I've been paying for some extra usage for quite a while. So I got to start managing that.
Yeah. So it's a cost, but like it pays off because you get so much time back and so much more efficiency. The next thing, like anything else, when you order your time, is make sure you put it to the right things to go to company. I mean, I'm not gonna buy my time back to go play video games, right? You will make sure it's something that's still gonna move forward.
Is there any way that you can monitor that or evaluate, like the spend versus the return on what you're?
I think it's
Not yet.
I feel like it's so valuable. Yeah. Whatever it is, it's paying off way more than it's just the stuff I've been able to do and the problems I've been able to solve. Right. Like I mentioned stuff like the meta ads, finding ways to take 2 different platforms and merge them, make a dashboard with Manus, and being able to deploy that where people don't even have to know how to check the meta ads or how to know how to evaluate meta ads. They just upload the files and then it tells them, okay, keep these ads, change these ones.
Like I'll give you an example. In terms of like limitless returns. So we got a client, they want to be able to have all of their employees log in with the same login information as their Active Directory server that's set up for their own company, right? Okay. So, if I would have went in and manually created that feature, maybe it would have took me, let's say 3 days, right? 3 days of doing nothing else but sitting at my computer and building out the feature. Wow.
You're talking about something that might cost you, if you put the Claude membership, $20, $100, $200 a month.
And that's decades of experience and practice and knowledge and get you to that point where you can do it in 3 days.
Right. I just did that today in about 15 minutes. Right? That's awesome. And I was doing that while doing other things. So when you talk about, maybe spending an additional $200-$300 a month on usage, man, it's scary. It's nothing. It's nothing. So,
I have a question, right? So you're a tech guy.
Mhm.
What's your top 3 AI stack? So I know people talk about, okay, Claude is the one of the best, but a lot of people who I see use AI, they have a stack. So I use ChatGPT for brainstorming. I use Claude for these tasks. I use something else to do whatever else.
That's an interesting question.
What's your stack?
And to be honest, I don't really use a lot of AI stuff. I think I just use the tools that I use now very well, and everything is interconnected. So my main AI tool is Claude, and Claude has CoWork, Claude Code. It has its own ecosystem, right? But before Claude, I used to use something called Gamma, which would pretty much generate all of my presentations. Because another thing is that at least once a month, I'm doing some sort of presentation, speaking on a big stage. And as you know, creating presentations would take, I don't know, however long it would take, right?
Hours.
So these days, I used to use Gamma to create the visuals, but now Claude creates the speaker notes, it creates the visuals, and it really tailors it to whatever it is I'm speaking to. So now, before being able to do that, my capacity to do speaking engagements would have been maybe like once a month. Now, realistically, with Claude, I could take on a speaking engagement once every 2 weeks, right? It takes me no time to build out the actual presentation. It's just about me actually practicing the actual presentation and the delivery, So that's also something that I think is pretty interesting. All of the other tools we use, at least to support our internal infrastructure, has some sort of AI capabilities. So whether it's Jira for ticket management, whether it's Slack for internal communications, whether it's HubSpot, which is our CRM, all of these different tools has their own internal AI capabilities, and we just maximize, like Canva for video editing photo editing, all of those different things we use and kind of put it together. And what we do is we try to use Claude to connect everything together, right? And so far it's been working pretty well.
I think recently Claude and Canva had a link where you can take the graphic and put it straight onto your Canva account, and then so what I like about a lot of AI is not to let it do 100%, but if it could do 90%, you just do the last little 10% tweak, then it's still customized, right? So you could take that graphic, put it on your Canva, then okay, I want this big, I want to change the color. It's done.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. But I think that what's going to be very interesting with AI is, like with everything, I think there's a bubble. So I think what's going to happen is like within now, let's say the next 5 years, and I think it's happening already now where persons are paying a lot of money to hire these guys that are AI tech savvy, right?
Yeah.
So, companies are spending a lot of money to get these guys in and for them to do whatever. Now, what I think is going to happen is that within the next 5 years, these skill sets won't necessarily be things you're paying top dollar for. It's going to be the standard. So now it's going to be a situation where if you aren't equipped with AI capabilities, then you just won't get that job, or you just won't be hireable in the market anymore. So anybody that I'm speaking to, I always tell them, hey man, this AI stuff, gotta get on it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just understanding how it works and seeing how it can make your lifestyle better, because I don't want to wake up one day and some company just woke up, automated my entire business, and could take me out of the business, take me out of the market. You don't want that, So you always want to stay on the cutting edge of technology and figure out how you can just be one step better. Whether that's in fitness and retail, whether that's in woodwork, whatever that may be, just find ways to try to make your process more efficient and figure out how you can do things much faster.
And that's what, like you said, no matter what your industry is, that's what the AI does. Anybody can take it and use it to make it more efficient, to work better, work faster, and stay ahead.
Absolutely.
I got a quote 2 weeks ago. I was talking one of those guys that you're talking about, and he gave me a quote. The initial price was $20,000, and this related to basically automating some of our estimating to make it a little bit easier on me. Take all of our historical data, use AI, make it a little bit easier. So the initial spend was $20,000, and then he wanted $2,500 a month to maintain it. And that was about a month ago. I spoke to somebody else about the same kind of thing. He helped me with a little bit. And today, I would say we're probably 50% of the way there of just doing it ourselves in-house and just, learning a couple of the techniques that we didn't really know, but it's actually not that complicated. There's not a lot of maintenance to it. It's pretty simple. So I was glad I didn't go with that first proposal because I didn't know enough initially. I just had to spend a bit of time and learn it, like you're saying.
Yeah. And I feel like in the Bahamas, we are behind on a lot of things. So everybody, AI is buzzing on the socials a lot, but I don't know how our local people have been really taking it on. I know we're doing it. I'm sure there's other people doing it, but just like the internet, just like meta ads and some of the stuff, we like slower behind the ball with some things. So that makes an opportunity for the people who are to really get ahead and separate yourself. So it's an opportunity. So I mean, I would say that the teenage kid who doesn't know what to do or can't find a job, you have all the time sitting home, you're playing video games, take some of that time and put that towards learning the skill, because it's a skill that you could sell to anybody. We're in the baby boomer age where a lot of boomers tired, they're ready to get out. If you can, or they don't know, they're not going to go and learn AI now, most of them, right? So you can come into any one of those companies and use that as a business to help hey, I can do all these great stuff for you, and it's simple stuff that you can do 5 minutes, but you can sell it as a skill, and it's an opportunity. So
I agree.
Man, hey.
I just saw Kevin O'Leary over the last couple of weeks. He's been talking about this younger generation and how he used to hire people from the arts field, and they would make sort of $30,000 to $40,000 a year doing some of this social media stuff. And he said today, someone that's really, really good at it, that understands all the platforms and all the algorithms, that can really give you a great return on your ad spend, are getting between $600,000 to $1 million a year as a private consultant working for Fortune 500 companies, and they're making massive money. And they were basically like art students, a few years ago, right, getting paid next to nothing. So it's dramatically changed when you fully understand the platforms and how to use them properly to generate revenue. We used to, I'll tell you a story about how we use AI. We used to, when we build furniture, something like this table, probably 10, even 15 years ago, I had multiple people that were drawing 3D renderings for us. And we would provide a rendering with a quote. And that rendering for like one piece like this would probably cost about $2,500. And it would take about 2 weeks between emails back and forth about change the color and do this and do this. And, you'd have to have some background and all these kind of things. And, today, now with all the platforms, it's seconds. And if I don't like the brown, I can change it to red, and I can change the background. I can change everything instantly. So the costs involved are almost zero. And even if you're paying ChatGPT $20 a month, they've just upgraded their entire not audio, but their visual platform. So now it's much closer to Nano Banana, and it seems very good. But that's $20 a month, gives you unlimited
20 compared to 2,500.
Yeah, for each and every individual one. So I can now sit in front of a customer and we're talking about something. It could be anything, a table, it could be a room or a building. We can be talking about it, and I can be doing live updates in the rendering and just showing them exactly. It's unbelievable difference.
So that's thousands in savings in the year.
Yeah.
Just $20.
And our industry is so visual, to be able to show people exactly what we're going to build really helps with the communication. It's much quicker. And we actually do it with our team now. We did one this week where we're talking about making up a sample, and it's a very detailed specialty sample, and there's a lot to it. It's not a simple little thing. And I did a sketch, which wasn't very good. And I put the sketch into, I think I used ChatGPT for that one, and I did a few little edits, and I fired it off to the team, so they knew exactly what to build. And it was was far better than my sketch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to segment into something else. I want to get you guys' thoughts on who do you think are persons that are rejecting AI and why. So my answer to that is, to be honest, for the most part, persons that I see rejecting AI are persons that aren't ready to change, right? So maybe all of the companies that could see that AI can automate their function or their service, but don't want to come to the realization that that's actually happening. I think those are persons that are rejecting AI. So like the old guard, so person that are still wanting to do things the old way, you know? So for example, like if you look at Blockbuster versus Netflix, right? That's a perfect example, you know? So all of your Blockbusters of the world who still think that, hey, we can make money selling DVDs, renting DVDs, physical copies. We can still make, you know, a living doing that. But in reality, streaming services is where the next, you know, type of boom was, but, you know, they didn't want to capitalize on it. I think the same is going to be said for persons that are rejecting AI. So like if you're in a space that AI can automate the majority of your function, I think your best bet is to figure out how to use it, automate it in your business, and create a new business model that you can then, you know, serve customers with, instead of looking at it and saying, hey, I'm going to reject it. I'm going to keep doing things the old way. Because to be honest, that's how you get taken over. You know, like when we came into the payroll space, HR space, there were already players in the space doing things, I guess you could say antiquated, but they had customers, they were making money. And until competition came, they didn't feel as if they needed to change. Until someone came, did it better, faster, cheaper, and took them out the market, you know? So what do you guys think? Who do you guys think, or who are people you think that are currently rejecting AI now?
Let me ask you all this. So we've been talking about AI from, you know, I guess a business owner, employer perspective, right? What are you guys telling your employees and your team members about AI? Why I'm asking, because I agree with you 100%. I think that, you know, there's this misconception that AI is going to cause displacement in the job market. I don't think that's the case. AI isn't walking in a suit and tie with a briefcase saying, I come to take your job. It's the employers who are employing AI, right? But also you still need people in the loop. And so one of the things that I did was with my team is I asked them, I said, okay, well, how can you utilize AI in your function today? Like, how can you incorporate it to make you faster, to make you more productive, to increase your output, your throughput, and all this stuff? And so literally they had to do research. They had a week, and then everybody came up and presented on AI. I really believe it's a situation where the people who embrace AI, who become proficient in it, are going to replace the people that don't. Just like the businesses that embrace AI and become proficient in it are going to replace the businesses that don't. What is the conversation that you guys are having with your team members around AI, especially like, you know, in a non-tech, if you could call it that, but I mean, but really there's AI that you guys can use in there, right? So like, what is the conversation that you're having with your teams around AI?
So just like how you did, we did something similar where they had homework. We watched the video, and then your homework was find that one repetitive task that you're doing and use AI to help solve that. And everybody was able to come up with their own individual thing or their individual use case. So I agree with what you said. It's the main goal that I want my team to do is be able to use their time for the most effective things. It's not like I'm not a boss who cares about them just being on the clock and being busy during that time, but make sure it's things that are forward moving and it's the best things for the business, not just typing in numbers on an Excel sheet. So I think that's a big part of it. And so to what you were saying, Keith, I think it's two types of persons who would have to push back. It might be that person that Ethan said that's scared. Hey, AI coming for this job I have, and I don't like it. They can be spying on you, and it's some of his ignorance that's thinking AI is okay to chat GPT and the fruits on TikTok talking like that's the AI that they see. They don't see all the all the skills and all that other stuff. So right, so their version of AI is different. I think the other part that people are they're afraid and they're ignorant of it. So I think just getting past that, they're the type who would push back to say we don't want it.
So the opposite has happened for me. So fortunate and blessed to have an awesome team, and we're intact. So to be honest, a lot of them were already tinkering with AI before myself or Duran, got our hands on it. And a lot of the things that they were doing, they brought to our attention. Say, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. We use Claude or we use Cursor or whatever other AI tool. And then, it just kind of got me thinking. Because obviously being a business owner, you're not always just on the technical side every day. You're doing admin stuff, you're making sure everything is running correctly. So at least for my team, everyone has been very receptive with AI. I think what that has done has really allowed them to be a whole lot more efficient with what they're doing. And to be honest, man, I think AI, at least at this stage, came at the right time, right? We've always been trying to keep our operations as lean as possible. Supercharging it with artificial intelligence pretty much saved the day, especially during a time where we're actually scaling, I would say, pretty fast. And obviously, you don't want to bring or add a lot of overhead while you're scaling. You want to manage expenses. And being able to utilize AI has definitely helped. We're training one of our team members now, sending her to a conference to train on AI tools as well, so that she can be a whole lot better in what she's doing. And I'm looking forward to see exactly what that looks like when she comes back.
I would say, we're using it quite a lot. I definitely use it a lot, and I think our whole team sees me using it. So that sort of inspires them and gets them moving a little bit. Today, one of our site foremen sent his basically daily report of what's going on the site, and I can tell it's all done by AI, right? And I'm like, that's pretty impressive. This is good. I don't know how he's doing it, but I think he's probably just voice recording, a quick voice summary of what happened on the day and what everybody's doing for the next day. And then I think he's using ChatGPT, just pumps it all out, and it's beautiful and it looks great. And he posts that to the group, right? So simple little things like that are making his job a lot easier. That report could have taken him an hour and a half to write all that out, right?
Yeah.
So we've got quite the gamut between a couple of us in the management side that use it every day, and then we got some guys that are good with hand tools that don't want to use a cell phone, right? So the complete opposite, and they have no intentions of ever doing anything to do with AI. So and I would say that's the majority of the construction industry. They don't really think it applies to them. It's like, I'm not going to bother at this age. Just don't see a use for it.
But then, do you share that view though? I know, is there a place for AI in your industry for the guys who are good with their hands and utilizing the tools? Why I'm asking is because I know I have, when we were in Atlanta, we did this interview with the chef, and he was using the Meta glasses, right? And so literally he has it linked to his phone and he's using AI. But he says, he can pull recipes, and then he would take pictures of the ingredients and stuff, and he talks to it, and he's like, all right, talk me through the recipes. Right. And then he takes pictures, and one thing that I thought was really cool, he said, give me the nutritional, so he had the dish prepared, and he said, give me the nutritional costing for this dish. Right? And didn't say how much ounces or anything. It's he took a picture of the completed stuff. And then I literally saw the thing popping up on his phone. And so do you think maybe use cases like that? Can you wear the Meta glasses and be like, all right, see if this door is straight, or how many cuts? Is that, do you see that being a real live case?
I'll tell you, one of the things that I think would be the most interesting uses, if you look at COVID, became known as the Great Resignation, the amount of people that switch careers. The other big transition is the baby boomers are all retiring. So millions of people in the skilled trades are retiring, and they take all that knowledge, a lifetime of knowledge with them, and it's gone. And AI is going to give us the opportunity to capture that knowledge so we don't lose it. And that's something that's very new. But just as a small example, I take all of our meetings every single day. They're all recorded on Zoom, and we can put that into Notebook LM, and it stores all that data. So we can build an agent in the future that is Jonathan, that answers the way I would, for technical answers. My team can ask, what would Jonathan do and how would we build this? Or what's the right way? And it can give them the specific answer. So if we can do that with skilled trades who are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s who are retiring and capture that knowledge, that has tremendous value for decades to come. We're not just going to lose all of that.
It's crazy because I had a conversation with a client Sunday, and we're doing some work with them. But he's like in the heavy in tech space, Montino Roberts, right? So he's heavy in AI and cybersecurity and all this stuff. And he was sharing with me, I was so proud of my Claude and how I have my projects and how I'm, building out my projects. And he was like, he really trained his AI and he said he transplanted his digital brain. And I was like, what? And he's like, literally, like his core value system. So how he makes decisions, his decision-making process, his value system, his thought processes on things, his position on certain things. And he did that. And he said it took him maybe about 3 to 4 weeks to really upload all that stuff. And so now it isn't even a situation. So that's his digital brain, essentially his digital consciousness that he's done there. And so now not only does it know his tonality, but it also knows how he would approach different situations, right? And how he would approach his decision-making process. And I thought that was interesting. But one of the things that I did, being in the media space, like even from my vlogs and stuff, like I record a lot of stuff. And so what I did to train my AI was I just pulled a transcript from those videos, similar to like what you do with your thing. And I literally said, analyze this. This is how it came up with, I think Claude calls it like a context document, right? So it could have context. Mm-hmm. But I think that's like kind of scary, but also very cool. Like, so I think, so I just thought that was super interesting how they do that. But I don't think a lot of people actually sit down and say, okay, well, let me train my AI. Right. I think they use AI like a glorified search engine, essentially.
I took my ChatGPT that I've been using for probably 2-3 years now, and I exported all that into Claude. So that Claude then knew exactly who I was and all of my history, all the business history, everything. So that I was now getting better answers. I wasn't just starting from zero, right?
Yeah. So, and I know I was kind of MIA for a minute, but what kind of other tools? I know I use Claude, ChatGPT. I use some video stuff.
You ever use the Higgs field? Higgs field, yeah. It's like
what's that?
Image and video. Great. You check it out there.
Yeah. Now, oddly enough, so I work in the creative space. One of my team members, she's a diehard creative. She is like, when I gave them that assignment to find AI, like she literally turned red because she's like, I said, what happened? She's like, yeah, I don't have a good relationship. I think they're stealing, like especially for image generation, right? But I was like, I ain't telling you to use image generation. I'm asking you how would you use it? And she said, well, if I do use it, I'll use it for 1 or 2 things. But she actually uses AI more than most people in my company because she does the creative. So she actually uses it to create storyboards with images, right? But not necessarily images for client work. And that's stuff that would have taken, like if she would have had to go online and search databases and stuff like that, really would have taken her hours. But now she's able to do a prompt and she could do a full storyboard, which has actually made us a lot more efficient because now our production guys get pictures. All you gotta do is match the picture to the picture. So it makes it that much easier. But I think it's very interesting how different people approach AI for different things.
So I got your question. I was asking like which tools. So I mix it up. I feel like the AI stack is the sweet spot. So I use like ChatGPT for like some brainstorming stuff, like thinking if I have ideas. I still think it has a little more context than Claude. Claude is still new for me. I did the transfer thing. I still feel like the chat has so much more because I use it for years, right? So I use that for something. I use the Claude for a lot of the skills, the documentation. I've been using that probably like 80% chat, like 20. And then I've been playing with Manus. So Manus is like a deep research. So what I use that for, I use that to build and it makes like websites, like living sites so my meta ad, the calculator, or what it is, basically it compares my Shopify sales with my meta ads to see how well our ads are doing for actual sales, because Meta can link directly to Shopify. So it compares hey, what am I advertising on Facebook Meta and what is selling in the store? And over that time period that you're advertising, how much has that changed? So it's able to compare that data and do that. And so it makes that live dashboard that I could send that to my team, and they all just have to export the documents, upload, and it gives them what to do next. And then what I used it for most recently was research. So, we make the supplements. So I asked it to do deep research on what all supplements are trending. Because, with supplements, you want to stay ahead of trends. You want to make sure you have the stuff when people ask for it. A lot of stuff go in trends. So it talked about like the GLPs, making supplements to go along with that. That's something that's big now. It talked about some women's health, menopause, perimenopause. So like a lot of stuff that I actually saw at the shows when I went, it aligned with it. So I know like the research is true. And then it gave me like, hey, you ought to do, I gave them my current offerings, or just export those lists from your inventory and say, okay, well, you should go with these stuff. And then I was able to take that, of course, tweak it, but then I have my list of the next set of products that we need to make. So it helped with that whole brainstorm instead of me going and searching this and pulling that and doing that, which might take a lot of time. It just speeds up everything. So those are 3 that I've been using. And then ChatGPT, Claude, Manus, and then I've been trying to learn the Higgs field. So what Higgs field is, it's image and video.
Okay.
So a lot of cool effects.
Trying to put me out of business, eh?
A lot of cool, and actually it could help. It can help make stuff more efficient. That's the same thing like what you were saying earlier. You can't be afraid of anything. You got to see how you can use this to make your process more efficient. So like I say, image and video, it can take an image, like take a picture of this vase and say, give a prompt, okay, make this vase jump off the table and hit Jonathan in the chest. And it'll make that into a video. Which is cool. And it's a bunch of other features, but it basically has Nano Banana. It has like other AI models hosted on one site. So you pay a membership and you can use different models instead of, okay, I got my ChatGPT, I got this one over here. It combines them all in one. So I played with it earlier, and it has the one cool feature where you could take a photo and it makes 12 variations at different angles.
Wow.
So how you sitting there now, it wasn't perfect now, because I had a photo of Dana and then like, it had her lips bigger and stuff. Anyway, so I made the photo and it shows like, and it had like so if it's the front picture, it had the side, it had the top, it had the back, like all the different angles, which is pretty close, but just imagine as it gets better, it's going to keep on getting better like everything else. So it's cool. So those are the ones I've been using lately.
Really use them. What about you guys? Like, what's your personal stack?
Honestly, it's just Claude.
He's a Claude guy. He's a Claude guy.
It's Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, Claude Chrome, Claude
So
Code.
it's a mixture of Claude Chrome and Claude Desktop. So I have Claude Desktop on my iPad, as well as on my MacBook. And then I use Claude Chrome for anything that I have to do browser related. I don't use a lot of different AI tools, man. I mean, I know it sounds crazy.
We don't believe you.
I really, yeah.
I don't use. No. But I think Claude does everything that I needed to do. But I do use other tools. Well, like actual software tools that also has AI capabilities within it. Right. And I think for me, one of the biggest things in terms of figuring out what works in my stack is this tool gonna actually connect with everything else that I'm doing? So every single tool that I use within my business talks to one another, right? Whether that's a ticketing system, whether that's our internal messaging system, whether that's our CRM, whether that's our emailing system, whatever we have, everything is interconnected. And I think that's also something that's very important, you know? That's one of the main reasons why we built TriBlock, because most systems are never interconnected. So trying to find one system to do one thing. If I could find one system that could do many things, then I'm just gonna keep using that.
Are
know?
you are you able to link Claude with TriBlock? Like if your clients, like say Ethan wanted to link his TriBlock with Claude, can you do that?
So yes, you can, but maybe not at that level. So we've actually replaced ChatGPT as our AI engine for our performance module to Claude. So Claude is actually being used to be able to generate all of the key takeaways, which is our how would I say this? Ability to summarize feedback that your team would have given on a review.
Okay.
Right? We also have something called sentiment analysis, where let's just say team member A gives good feedback, but they use specific keywords. Maybe teammate B has poor feedback, but just depending on how they say certain things, Claude can tell you if your team is feeling positive, negative, or has a very neutral feeling. So we've embedded Claude in TriBlock, but from like putting in a prompt and then seeing if it can do anything for you from your own TriBlock instance, that's not possible yet.
Yeah, that's cool though. A lot of companies been using the AI assistant, so they'll name it Jeffrey. So they'll add Jeffrey to TriBlock, and you could ask Jeffrey, "Hey Jeffrey, how's my staff doing? Hey Jeffrey, did we schedule everything for the week or what's not?" So is that similar, or that's what you're saying y'all haven't done yet?
So we're actually working on something like that. So we have, and this is one of the things we unveiled in our masterclass called TriBlock Advisor. So phase one, which is still not as automated, is where if you have any questions or queries of TriBlock, you can fill out a form that then sends the information to our ticketing system. It's then auto-assigned to one of our team members to take a look at it, they work on it. Now, where we're trying to get with that is we want to be able to kind of auto-predict what your issue is and give you the solution without ever having to reach out to somebody. So, for example, if you're on the time offs page, you're trying to request a time off, and let's just say you're getting a specific error, instead of filling out a form and asking an actual person, how do I solve this? TriBlock Advisor says, hey, I've seen this error before. Why not look at this video and look at how to actually do this? And then it actually walks you through in TriBlock how to do something without ever having to speak to some actual customer service person. So that's where we want to give it support. And that's one of the things that I'm working on along with our team to kind of get it to that point.
That's cool.
What about you, Jason? What's your stack?
I would say all those things, but I like Notebook LM. It's a lot of fun. Notebook LM basically takes what you put into it and uses AI to analyze it and give you feedback. You know, whatever you tell it to do is what it'll do for you. It doesn't naturally use the entire internet to give you answers unless you ask it to. So I've done a lot of things. One of them was my schedule. I had a very detailed schedule for months, and I uploaded the entire thing. And I asked it to be very critical of, you know, a business owner and the things I do and what I spend my time on. And it was great. And one of the functions is a podcast. So you click the podcast button, and it's a man and a woman talking about whatever it is you've uploaded. So that was funny. Listen to them being critical of me, right? But yeah, Notebook LM is it's extremely powerful. It's a great tool.
Awesome. All right, so I just got word that we do have some questions in the chat. Tev, we have some questions, right?
Yes, we do.
All right, so Tev, what are some of the questions?
Okay, so in the chat, Rachel 22 says, my boss is an OPED. He doesn't know anything about AI, and of course, I don't need middle management. How do I convince him to switch over to a simple chat GPT?
Very simple, very simple. What you have to do is you have to essentially show proof of concept. So the only way to convince someone that something works is to show them that it works. So if you look at anything that your boss may be doing right now, that may be taking him, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever that may be, just ask the question, hey, what are you working on right now that's taking up a lot of your time? And if it's something very simple, you can take that, let's say you automate it, you go back to your boss, say, hey, I was able to do what you're trying to do faster, more efficient, that can save you time, and just do him a solid. And then once he sees that, he'll be like, oh, wow, well, what else can you do? Right?
So show him, don't ask him, show him.
You have to show and see. You have a lot of companies, older companies, so whether that's in law, or whether that's in finance, that they are now moving to trying to use AI, specifically because they have to move faster. If they don't move faster, there's going to be some startup with some tech guys working in the basement that's going to automate their entire service. And then at that point, how do you compete? So just show your boss, and once he sees the results, he'll be convinced immediately.
Awesome. All right, that's a good one. Tev, you got any more?
Yes, we do. So Jason Bain says, where I work, a lot of people are utilizing AI. However, I feel as though it's kind of like plagiarism. Convince me.
A lot of people are using AI. I think I can take that one. So, anybody y'all want to take it?
But I'll just put a comment. I felt like that at first, and you know what really used to irk me when I see the M dashes.
Yeah.
From I see an M dash on your email or your document, I feel like you ain't really thinking this through. You just put this to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So if you're using M dashes, that's those long dashes in the chat GPTs make. Just take it out.
Just take it out.
Take it out.
You could ask Chat to take it out, by the way.
But I did feel that way until I saw the efficiency. So we had a marketing person come on, and she started sending me reports and ideas. I saw the M dashes, like, man, I don't know. But the stuff, it was the same word. The context and the content is still useful. So if it still works, then it works. It doesn't matter if it's no benefit to you taking 5 hours to do something that could take 15 minutes. Yeah. So if it takes 15 minutes and it's still accurate and right, then it's right. So that's how I feel.
I would say, and this is one of the ways I use it, is it drives creativity. So you might first look at it and say, well, this is not original content. This is all from chat. But I often use it as a first step and then try to come up with more creative ideas. It gets the juices going, right? So I feel like just, don't be negative about it. Try to use it as an asset to build on better, bigger ideas.
I think for me, the thing is that you examine the source, right? And so I think a lot of people use AI now, especially with chat. They go, okay, well, give me 5 topics or give me 5 points on this particular topic that I can use, which is why everybody sounds the same, right? My approach to it now is, all right, I need to speak on this topic. Ask me questions that I can answer that will demonstrate my expertise in the area. And have it actually interview me.
Yeah.
And then I do one up because
way.
I actually record the video and then I put the transcript in and then I say, organize this into whether it's a script or whatever, or article or blog post. So I think it could sound or feel like plagiarism if you use it like that, if you ask it to give you the thing. But if you're the source if you're the actual source and you're asking it to refine, modify, I think that's where your unique voice can still come through, even utilizing AI.
Yeah. Hey, and I agree, because these days when I go on LinkedIn,
Oh, man.
the messaging, even from start, like once I see that, you started off a certain way, and then I think read more, and it's just like this long message. And at the bottom, like the call to action, I already know it's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's cracked me up when I hear the videos that I see the scripts. So you think you have a communication problem, but what you really have is that's like chat
I
every
could
day.
tell the chat script.
Yeah.
I could tell them.
But it's crazy because, and that's one of the things I think with people, have to realize there's so much AI slop, right? And I remember
What's AI slop?
AI slop is just all of this AI generated content stuff, whether it's photos, images, videos, blogs, articles. It's just so much AI, right? That people are very skeptical. Like you said, the minute you see that, I feel the same way. The minute I see that, and then even if I see something that doesn't happen, I'm like, is this real or is this AI? So that's one of the reasons why I like to vlog so much, like myself, because I think that's a good way to get my authentic voice out. But I think that's why it's easier to stand out now more than ever. And that's why I like the idea of a personal brand too, because then you are you, right?
Yeah.
Now you could argue that, yeah, okay, well, I could have an AI clone and this, that, next, but your voice, your perspective, your lived experience is the thing that's going to cut through the slop. And so I love it when I see Jonathan and Keith and Miko on social, and you're sharing your perspectives and you're like your vlog's killing it, stuff like that. But because that gives people a greater appreciation for who you are as an individual, and they know that's you. And so when they see something, they know, oh, well, and it's refreshing almost because it's like, wow, like this is real. I know sometimes I use AI, even with the email thing, I just rewrite the whole thing and I feel like, hold on, this is too long. So you can't, and let me just cut all this out. But I use it as like to help me refine and stuff like that. But people who use it as the source of the creation, I think they're the ones who run into the challenges.
Yeah, and then like Jonathan said, you just make it yours. Like let it do 90% even, and then you come in and do the 10. You tweak. You don't just copy and paste what it gives you. I think that's a big part.
Especially on the first render. Like some persons, they'll put a prompt in, and as soon as it spits it back out, they then use that.
Cut and paste.
Instead of just iterating until it sounds very authentic.
Yeah.
Deb, you got any other questions? You got another question? I think we got time for one more.
It is 7:31, but yes, we can take one more question. So, Trav Russell says, I am starting up my own team and I am currently using AI. However, I don't know where to go from here. How do I scale in 3 to 5 years using this?
Well, ask Claude how to do it.
That's
a great thing with AI. Like you can ask it.
You don't need to know how to do nothing.
How to use it.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is the size of my team. This is my business. This is my plan. How can I use AI tools, including you, to scale my business in 5 years?
Yeah, that's the best place.
We don't have
to
to
start.
contact. I don't even know what the business is, but
Claude would know.
I would often use like some of my favorite authors to ask that same question. So tell it who to be, act like Brandon Dawson and Michael Gerber and John Maxwell and give me an answer, that they would get for my specific question.
yeah.
You know
mine answers like Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozi, and Brandon Dawson.
Right.
So it'd be like, hey, use this white glove touch like Brandon Dawson. Like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
But
it works.
No, like legit, because I used a combination of Chris Voss. Y'all know Chris Voss.
Yeah.
Never Split the Difference, Alex Hormozi, and Grant Cardone, and all their books to develop my sales strategy for CAD.
Yeah.
And it spit out like this 30-something page document. When I said that was so sexy, and literally it was like, okay, this is where you would drop, and I said, all the $100 million series, so from offers to leads to money models, this how, and he said, okay, this is how you handle objections, this is a Chris Voss move, this is how, and literally is this document that where essentially, you had to go in and do some adjustments, but essentially we're using that as our playbook for CAD promotion.
But one problem with it that I'll say to answer that question is you can get a lot of fluff. You could spend all day long playing on there and getting a whole lot of fluff. You really need to get to drive revenue. So if you're going to ask questions for a business, any kind of business, all comes down to revenue. So ask specific questions about outcomes to achieve revenue, and then work on those outcomes, and not just waste hours and hours and hours playing on there.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, I think I'm getting the signal that that's over. Well, technically we ain't 3 minutes over because we started 3 minutes late. But everybody, thank you so much. I think this may be a thing. If you guys really enjoyed this episode of EQ Live, These, like I said, these gentlemen here are people that I hold in high regard. They have collectively made me a lot of money as I continue to scale my business to 8 figures. And I gain a lot of value from them, not just financial advice, but just life stuff. And so if you found this useful, please like, share, comment. And if you think somebody else, and if you're watching the rebroadcast of this, leave a comment, let us know. And if you think that this should maybe be a thing, let us know, because we'd love to. This is literally what we do. The only thing that's missing is the coffee. We normally would do this every couple of weeks in any event. And so, any final words before we sign out, guys?
It was a great idea. Thanks for inviting us. Let's do it again.
I think a good closing remark is that you could do all the research, you could read all the books, you could do all the conferences, but you still have to come back and take action. So even if you're watching this and you're thinking about it, pick that one thing that you could take and actually do. Take the action. Don't just say, okay, it's a great idea, and then you go finish, watch TV. Find something that you could take action on right away.
Yeah, so my final thoughts would be similar to what D'Amico said, is we spoke about a lot of different things. My thing that I would tell persons is to download Claude today, free version, and just figure out something that you're having a difficulty with, plug it into Claude, let it figure it out.
Just play with it.
Just play with it, man. You know, just take a weekend. You know, don't go out partying. You know, put down the rum or all that good stuff, and just sit down at your desk with your laptop or your iPad or whatever you have, and just start going through it.
Yeah. Take that $20 you're gonna spend on the rum.
Yeah,
put it in.
You can spend
There you
more than $20 on rubbing that. So, all right, so guys, where can people find you if they want to kind of connect, follow your journey, socials? Where can they find you?
I'm Mr. Fitness Connection on IG, TikTok, and Facebook is D'Amico Nesbitt.
Keith Roy on all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. But you can also follow my business pages. Those are a whole lot more active. But I've been working with Ethan to get my personal pages very active as well. So a marketing manager, she's going to start posting those videos that we did very soon.
You see, we send people viral.
But yeah, you can follow my other pages, Play Well for Design and Triblock HR on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram.
Yeah, and we're at Zoanna Millwork, so check us out. We're trying to get to that 500,000 mark very soon, 500,000 views. So we're right there.
You're right there. Also, and you guys know where to find me, the Real EQ, Ethan Darquan on Instagram, TikTok, and right here if you're watching on YouTube. All right. And so until next time, remember, like I say on the Real EQ podcast, get uncomfortable and do the work because the world needs your greatness. Peace.